Pistol start clapping like who is at the second line? Rap cocaine have you going off the second line? My heart is a crystal, like gushers shooting juices through my love pistol. Rose quartz, my love issue. For relieving, I need tissue. In meditation, healing mommy issues. I'm ill, my medicine is can I chill with you? Bumblebee in the moment, lavishly humble. I wanna suck you up like the last drop of gumbo. I wanna put my papa leg bug in your ocean. See, thrive up in the womb cause of darkness. God going inside itself. Big bang, come over here, help me spark this. Matter of fact, self-realization was the first sexual act. Now it's the vibrate, meditate on that.
How did that mood you? So what's up? What's up, y'all? How the audio and everything is? How the audio, visual. I'm doing this off of my laptop for the first time in a long time. Well, it's a different laptop from the old videos. And now that I got a camera, soon we'll be moving to even more high quality videos. New moon, Leo energy. Rah. Rah. Letting it, letting it go, letting it shine. What's up? Scratch my throat, playing around. What's up? What's up? As a matter of fact, about to play the little track with me and Jazz Bandito. We're gonna get into a few things. I got a few little bullet point that I want to share. You know, definitely get into the aspect of realizing that, you know, again, you vote with your own inner sovereignty, your own inner abundance. Like the way to pull away from, you know, be able to help. It is a full out situation to help yourself. Because again, let's just say you want to save the whales or save the forest or, you know, do something for all kind of people. You know, it would take abundance for you to create that platform. And again, a lot of us also want to not just give a person a fish, but we want to teach people how to fish. But in order to get a bunch of fishing poles and tackle boxes and bait in order to help a lot of people fish, it would take abundance in order to manifest that, you know. And again, like tapping into that aspect of realizing like nothing is wrong with abundance and prosperity. Like that's how we are able to, you know, bring forth our dreams into the physical. You know, this is what this about. Like as much as we like, oh man, I hate being in the physical, or the physical this, the physical that. It is a part of the whole, and it's basically like you being God against itself. Like, and that's what your life experience is. You're battling against the physical all day. Like, oh man, I can't stand this. Oh man, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Instead of finding ways to become more whole and integrated, you know. Right now, also again, adding some practicality into what you're doing as far as like, you know, making sure we create sturdy foundations for whatever it is that we're building on. Because when you're building something, you definitely want a sturdy foundation. So, you know, as much as it's about having fun and, you know what I'm saying, like, again, being childlike, having fun, especially with this Leo energy, going to be bringing it out a little more. Matter of fact, working with your yellowish green crystals, like your peridots, your chrysoprase crystals. Oh, let me turn this off before it aggravates me. You know, those little, again, the crystals that connect the heart chakra with the solar plexus, because again, it's like the Leo energy is like in between those areas, and the Cancer energy is like the heart area as well too. But we're gonna continue. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play this other song. Matter of fact, this song right here is on it's on Spotify, so y'all definitely check out my brethren album. It's called The Truth, and I'm featured on track 4. The track is called Vibrate. Y'all definitely check it out. I got my little BMI and all that, so any and all support and spins, is greatly appreciated. More music and more of everything to come. I'm just balancing things out, being more focused, developing. That's another thing, like realizing I had to, again, I was being a little stubborn about creating goals and seeing like creating goals don't mean I'm being rigid, like again, and somebody made an easy analogy of like, and I noticed this from like doing push-ups. Like I noticed whenever I used to do push-ups without counting, like I would just do them. Like it felt like I wasn't really getting no progress, or like I wasn't counting them. So it's like, how do I know if I'm doing more than I did the other day? Stuff like that. Like I was just doing them. Like, if I'm really wanting to progress, it's like, all right, I'm doing 20, and then I plan to do 30 the next month or the next day or the next week, or you know what I'm saying. But and however that works for you, because that's what helps. Direct our light in essence is by putting that focus on it. Yiddy. I'm about to play this other track. What's up? What's up, everybody? Tori N, Christian Kalos, who that Dua Abraham, El Ra, Christy Love, Alea, Interesting People, I Am Goddess, Willie Bucks. I'm not from the city, I'm from Opelousas. Opelousas, get it correct, baby, get it correct. Hey.
Thanks, Lord. Yes, Lord. Okay, if you just open your mind, all these words you could find, you will get a mind over time. Okay, if you just open your mind, all these words you could find, you will get a mind over time. Okay, wonder why they testing me. Redesign our destiny, so you can't get the best of me, no way. I said I wonder why they testing me. Redesign our destiny, so you can't get the best of me, no way. Okay, consider this energy. Synonymous with divinity. Problems keep coming and going infinity. Let's go some synergy. Come on, let's go to a ride. I promise you ain't been this high. This is a beat they climb. All of the dreams on my mind, acquired them all over time. We scraping nickels and dimes. Now I got half of a pound. I became whole over time. Love some stuff in your mind. Like, damn, hold on now, wait. Damn, all of these days, we've been holding on to the weight. Like, damn, hold on, wait. Okay, look, remember when I was in last and they never mind, but bitch too bad, cause I'm in my bag, yo, hold my line, so now I'm at go, ass in behind, hold on my draws, it ain't bragging, I ain't lying, am I on a high horse, heaven knows, Lord knows that I know I never motherfucking mind, cause how in the hell they fell off from behind, you too caught up in a space where there's not enough grace over time, you do them laugh, add up them bags, get shit up subtract, all the bullshit in the bag, so you can see with whom you equally match, as a matter of fact, although we just matter of mass, I know in the back of my mind, I'm blessed to be building these questions from those who've been seeking the answers, doubting these prophecies, preaching for profit and spewing false knowledge like it's not a problem and they shouldn't stop it. Was factually true, cause how in the hell they fell off from behind? You too caught up in a space where there's not enough grace from the time. You do them bad, add up the way. Okay, you just open your mind, all these words you can find, you'll get a mind over time. Okay, if you just open your mind, all these words you can find, you'll get a mind over time. Okay, I wonder why they testing me. We design our destiny, so you can't get the best of me, no way. I say I wonder why they testing me. We design our destiny, so you can't get the best of me, no way. Okay, life is what you make it. Sometimes you gotta sit and strip the subconscious naked. Like I love manifesting, but can I get out this matrix? See, it's complicated, but it's really simple and basic. Get inside the now moment like a search and seizure. Now is the vibrate. Hey, I say, I imagination create my destination.
Main occupation is mastering transformation. Thinking source for the skills that was latent. Don't be overthinking. As the porter shrinking, big booty with her eye winking. Tootie taught me the facts of life. Jessica Pisces, sacred geometries. Bounce music, booty bouncing. Indigenous vibe and hood life creating spiritual synergy. We design our own destiny. Jazz B, I trust that they hearing me. That's why you only need one eye to see, like 2001 Space Odyssey. Hey, like my name was Stanley Kubrick, filming my own movie, infinitely moving. Okay, you just open your mind. All these words you could find, moving to the mind over time. Okay, if you just open your mind, all these words you could find, move your mind over time. Okay, wonder why they testing me. We design our destiny, so you can't get the best of me, no way. I said, I wonder why they testing me. We design our destiny, so you can't get the best of me, no way. Okay. Thumbs up if y'all. Minds, worlds, and divine over time. I am grateful for the growth of my universal shine. Hey, yo. I'm motivated. Hey. Help me expand my universal mind. Oh, my kundalini rising up my spine. The energy is inside of me, and I'm the creator. No one else to blame. And I accept full accountability for everything I do. For now, it's all in my name. It's right now. Now is the vibrate. Yeah, that's it. But yeah, again, it's on Spotify. Matter of fact, it should be on all streaming platforms. Again, Jazz Bandito, The Truth. That's the name of the album. Vibrate is the name of the track. Like that. Oh. What's up, though? What's up with y'all? Foundation, though. Matter of fact, you know, realizing a lot of us gotta realize the game we in with being in America, you know what I'm saying? In this plane of existence, in this dream world, you know, whenever you win a certain game, you either, you know, have to play it or move around. In the sense of, you know, we came into a reality where, you know, things have shifted to this paper dollar or whatever, you know, money in that sense of it. But again, no matter what it is all based on our inner abundance. And like realizing for myself, like, again, is dealing with subconscious trauma, you know, from our childhood. You know, it could be something as far as from within the womb, you know, early stages of pregnancy. But again, all that goes into the way we view things and deal with things. And a lot of times we may brush over these certain aspects of trauma or certain subconscious programming that, you know, keep keeps us in that redundant loop. Like for myself, I realized like also like what was key lately, I've been realizing breaking out of the underdog identity. So realizing like, you know, like, cause I always like the underdog. Like that's always my thing, like the underdog. You know what I'm saying? Underdog. And I think about Sirius. And matter of fact, we're moving into the dog days of summer, you know, in connection with Sirius shining, you know, just as bright as the sun, you know, as well. So again, but like realizing how trying to be the underdog was also like holding me back in certain aspects of dealing with my business, like trying to be the person that's like, you know, oh, I'm gonna be the underdog, like I'm make it seem like, you know, like I'm not the best, and then I'm gonna show everybody I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you're not realizing like you kind of boo-hoo-hooing on the low key, you know, from holding yourself back. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta realize, like, and again, like it just all came to me, like that's what's happening. Like you keep trying to be, you know, like Robin Hood from a dysfunctional aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, thinking that you got to bring yourself backwards or be in an underdog position all the time in order to help other underdogs. And it's like, no, you know what I'm saying? Like the aspect is that at some point that quote unquote underdog rises and no longer is really an underdog, you know, in that sense. Shout out to the cartoon underdog. But you know, again, we can have these little identities that we hold on to. Again, like with any of my videos, hence why, again, I always like one of my main things is, you know, hey, I'm just expressing things on my journey. You know, some things may be inner gnosis and downloads that you may have not seen in the book. You know, this is all just me expressing. Like I'm not no, you know, and I know I have the ability to teach in that sense of it. But again, with a lot of things, or at least I'll discuss again at the beginning of the video, like, hey, you know, like, bam, like I know what I'm, you know, this is some real shit, what I'm running right here, regardless if it's in the book right now or not. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it's coming to me, you know, and hence why I also let a person know, like, hey, you know, like again, to each his own, like, don't just listen to me just because, again, because you see I got so many subscribers, or you know, because you think I look cute or whatever. Like, no, you know, you gotta, you know, really feel whatever it is that I'm running. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't, because that's very key. That's always very key. But again, like becoming more and more important is like having discernment and being grounded. And discernment in a sense of just, you know, trusting what your heart, you know, filling out a situation instead of placing a prejudgment, you know, like instead of just like, oh, this person, you know, got a cane and a suit on, they must be a pimp, they probably trying to come at me like this, you know. And then when that person come around, they're like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? I'm a Jehovah Witness, and I was coming to see you." You know what I'm saying? Bust your head wide, you know, like as far as like, "Oh shit, I ain't even expect that," you know. And again, that's because it's more so you judge the situation more so than had a discernment with, you know, feeling the energy out. So that's, you know, one of the things that's coming up. Let's see. Dysfunction and this. Matter of fact, let me see. Christian Kalos hated. I love it. The underdogs on top. Hey, on that. To my hot shot. Go ahead and beat me. Cause I'm Rex MVP. And also realize again the multi-dimensional aspect of our being, you know, like we dealing with the multi-dimensional aspect of ourselves and to always be centered and realize, like, there's nothing for whatever ancestor or whatever thing could appear externally, it exists within you first and foremost, and again, within this reality, we are within this realm, however you want to speak of it, it simultaneously, again, like our inner realm projects outwardly, and then we simultaneously experience it, you know, and then depending on how how much we remember that we created the situation compared to how much we just think, oh, this just happened out of blue and this is happening to me, you know, and then you start to feel like less and less of a creator when you deal with your experience, and then your experience becomes more and more like you feeling, powerless in that sense of it, you know. But again, that's why I like the aspect of learning the Kabbalah, helps out so much because of the just more so of the archetypes and the symbology behind it, because again, the symbols are very important to the subconscious. And I think about, like even now, like the symbol of the line itself, just by we hearing that line, oh, Leo season line, you know what I'm saying? Like that's creating that archetypical, that's bringing up that archetypical energy, you know what I'm saying? I'm more so, activating it even more. But it all has its, and also there's gonna be a like a shift of energy, like the energies is shifting, and again, it's not nothing to be, you don't want to fear monger yourself right now. Like now is not the time to fear monger yourself. Like realizing like now more than ever, you can see how it's almost like, again, like the twilight zone, like two different dimensions exist in this, within the same physical realm. Some people like, oh, corona, and some of us like, oh man, we know that shit, is a scam. We know that the body has the ability to heal, you know and all these little diseases seem to pop up, you know what I'm saying? Like, and also realizing, again, like as above so below, as within so without. It's it's the aspect of oneness, and at the same time, in this, again, within this realm, we have again, it's balancing the oneness with your unique experience, because that's a part of why you're here, like you're here because you're in the physical, having an experience in a realm that has duality, and and learning more about yourself, within this, like it is what it is, and matter of fact, I just had something about that, but again, because it may be talked about like, oh, this realm is a jail and things, and it, again, it is like a pretty, again, like the bodysuit, the cells, you locked up in a cell, and that's why that's why I made that video speaking on, like, I think I did yeah, I should have did like a think fast on it, but the aspect of like how going to jail has like a aspect of, you could get a lot of spiritual growth from an experience of being locked up in jail, in the sense of like, again, and this, looking at it from a strictly from a soul, saying, hey, what type of experience is gonna, like, what I'm saying, like, help me to really, you know kind of get how the universe work, in essence, and the balance of it, because again, like having to deal with the unknown, like dealing, where you don't know what's gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? And so you have to surrender to the fact that, all right, every day I'm gonna be dealing with the unknown, you know what I'm saying? And I just gotta use my discernment, you know, when I'm out in the yard, or you know, when I'm in my cell or my block or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, gotta have that discernment, and also from sitting there and developing, you know, like, you know, learning more through sitting there and reading, you know, kind of like what we do within this realm in the general aspect of it, you know, we in these little cells, you know, constantly learning about ourselves, you know what I'm saying? No different from somebody, you know, like, and again, it's about a soul coming down into the physical, like on a mission, you know, like for its own experience and purpose, you know, in connection with the one bigger, you know, purpose in essence is just again like learning more about self, which causes expansion of self, you know. But what's up, Lightbringer? What's up? Yeah, fear is just an aspect of like really, you know, facing it. Again, it's not necessarily about fighting against anything as much as it's just facing things. But again, what I was gonna say about the, you know, the aspect of realizing like, man, matter of fact, shout out to Tia Swan, but she be killing shit when it comes to psychology and, you know, but the aspect of like when people go to say everything, like have everything equal, it should be equal. You know, a part of that also serves the ego in the sense of like, oh no, I don't want nobody, you know, doing something again like a insecurity. Because again, that it all starts with two different inferiority complex or superiority complex. You know, because again, when I speak of there's no such thing, and again, there's oneness, but even with oneness, like again, my body is one, but all body parts not equal, you know, in that sense. Like again, on the macrocosmic aspect of like, yeah, all of the atoms are made out of, you know, 99.9%, you know, no thing, and that, you know, my soul, you know, exists. But long story short, like the we see went on a tangent. I'm learning. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I ain't gonna be mad at myself. Just no fall back. But that's what I was talking about. The inferiority, superiority complex, and like, oh, make it equal. Because again, like a short person is not equal to very tall person. You know, like they're not equal. That doesn't mean that one should hate the other just because one taller, one shorter, one taller, you know what I'm saying? Because one could move around and maneuver in lower places that the tall person can't. The tall person could maneuver in places that the short person can't. Both have a respective, you know, advantage in place, you know what I'm saying, within the oneness and the wholeness of the picture, you know. Like it again, like it's when the ego get involved to feel like, and again at the unhealthy aspect of the ego, because the ego exists on some level on a healthy aspect, you know, like, but, yeah, it's just a, a divine merging going on for sure. Oh. It's in my notes. Right. Eccentric K. Yeah. Yep. That's why I was like, all people not created equal. You can't equally make a height of a doorway the same for midgets as you would for y'all men. You know, and again, like ice cube is not equally comfortable in the heat as fire is, comfortable in the heat, and vice versa, like a ice cube, would be more comfortable in a cold atmosphere as the fire, all connected to the one, just different elements. And say for instance, like, should the ice cube and the fire hate each other because that's a part, you know what I'm saying? And we may be in a cycle where ice cubes are no longer required, and it's a cycle that supports fire, you know, in a sense of like, again, one aspect pushes staying, lost in duality, and the other aspect, you know, promotes the oneness. But again, within this realm, both God exists for this realm to exist, you know. Like the whole aspect is like, and that's the thing too. Like some would ask, like, if this a jailhouse or whatever, why fix it up, or and again, like reincarnating souls could have a path that nurtures the soul on their next earthly experience, because some beings are happening to reincarnate within this realm, you know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be like, again, like making the school or prison more nurturing to the inmates, where they could really heal their trauma and not just be locked in a cage. You could actually be, healing, and again, because we stepping into a cycle where extrasensory perception is gonna be more, more of the norm, and that's, it's gonna come out more, like the children again gonna be coming out more aware. That's why they made movies like Children of the Corn. Again, like, I think Children of the Corn, there was another one where like the children all seemed like they were like zombied out and had like some white hair, but they not really zombie out, but more so like super intellectual, and what Hollywood painted the picture to be extraterrestrial in that sense, you know, but like, like no facial expressions, white hair, extremely powerful with telepathy and psychokinesis, you know, but they made them seem like monsters to the parents and stuff, and like there was some type of cult, you know. But that's another thing too. Right now, and I call myself like just paying attention to self-care. Like, you know, like I realized for myself, like I'm finally reaching that stage to where, only when it's really called for to speak on like certain little aspects of like, what's going on behind the scene, or with the government or this or that, but it's like, and shout out to me realizing early in the game about just really sitting back, clearing my mind, and just being to myself a lot, to realize, like to just tap into to spirit, because that, like, even though it could have came off as being extreme. It's like, again, like when I first started my YouTube channel, it's like, bro, I just only want to broadcast on shit that's gonna help you to be the greatest version of yourself. Like, like why even talk about anything else, And I was kind of on the, on the heavy end on it, you know. And again, though, I realized, like, all right, the balance of it, while being in this realm, if I'm participating, like, again, if I want to go, if I don't want to participate, then catch a flight to Tibet and go meditate in the mountains, or, or wherever, and, do whatever. And again, though, a lot of us know us, so we know we came down here to, do what we do right now within, quote unquote, America. And now is the vibrate, so everything is moment to moment, of course, we'll make our certain little plans, and we could feel like if we make a plan that's too rigid, or like you'll feel like something kind of, maybe feeling kind of funny when you go to make it, because it's letting you know, like, you're being a little too rigid, something may shift in this moment where you're trying to plan such and such, you know. But again, just building our inner awareness up, you know, again, if you gotta go research your natal chart, do your numerology, look at the numbers for your name and your birthday, and but whatever it is, again, for us to be getting to know ourselves to the fullest, like, and I catch myself, I know, like, a part of me doing my videos is to, again, just share. Again, it's always my perspective, like, no matter what, what I'm saying? Like, of course, it may have stuff that's backed by books or things of this nature, but at the end of the day, just me sharing my perspective, take what resonate, leave what don't, be aware of what part of you the information resonates with, you know. But if I say something about being a bum or smoking crack, which each his own, but it's like, be aware that what I said resonated with the crackhead smoking you, and not necessarily the highest aspect. You gotta peep game of what's resonating with the message. Because again, like, somebody might say something. Look, I'm gonna put it like, all right, me in a situation, somebody say something about like the underdog, and like the underdog is and the underdog gotta make sure that he stay the underdog. And I'm like, yeah, it's like, low key, that message is resonating with that part of me that wants to stay identifying with the underdog, and not necessarily my soul, which is connected with the no thing and doesn't, again, identify with one particular thing, and, to that extreme. Because again, like, if I make a comment like, fuck football, only a person who identifies with football to the point where they feel like football is them. Hence why they have to say, oh, no, man, football is really, like, a hit dog gonna holler. That's a terminology we always, I know a lot of people probably use that in the South, but a hit dog gonna holler, meaning, like, if you gotta say something, that mean it kind of hits you some kind of way, you know what I'm saying? Like, point blank, period. And having to be aware of that whenever that happens. Like, if somebody says something, like if somebody say any YouTuber that wear glasses with crystals in it is stupid, you know. If I be like, well, man, I don't really feel like, like, if I gotta feel like I gotta say something back to that person, then I must feel like I'm that stupid YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Like, I must be identifying with that. And that's little slick ways of how we could see. And again, that help, because just the awareness itself, like, by us just becoming more aware, because again, that's all shadow work is just shining the light, and again, we got that courageous solar plex, so we could walk into that cave, with courage, you know what I'm saying? Like shine that inner, solar plexus. Shout out to Oshun, solar plexus shining brighter than your necklace. Say that about 20 times fast. But again, just the awareness itself is that conscious light, and the more you just shine that light, and again, being in the state of acceptance, compassion, appreciate all aspects of your being, all your emotions, because just because I appreciate the crackhead in myself, and whatever part of my growth that was, doesn't mean I have to go back to smoke crack in order to appreciate it. Like it's just making sure that, I don't shun myself and be like, oh man, I was crazy when I did crack. And I mean, allow for yourself to go through that, but it's like, love yourself in general. As a matter of fact, because honestly, like it shouldn't even have the the name unconditional before it. That goes without saying, in essence, into love. Shout out to my brother Josh, who was running about that. It's like it that's already in it. Because again, in order to expand, like the flower of life from one circle, like fear is not going to allow this type of expansion. If source energy feared expanding this consciousness past the first circle, you wouldn't have nothing but just that one circle. No other shapes, no other aspects would exist, unless it was love. And hence why, again, like they talk about the flower of life, connects with the expression of love. It's like it love it. Like why would I wouldn't create this many circles of myself, this many reflections of myself if I hated myself or I was fearful. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? And it's just simple, just a simple aspect. It's a solar plexus. He said, hey, you can't call people whack, Christian Caleb. No, I'm not gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that you can't call people whack. You call people whatever you want. But to each his own. If they, if that's what they do. I promote people coming down here and gaining inner light for themselves, and and may they how to say, may they execute their soul purpose to the highest degree, whatever that is for them, because everything serve a purpose. Word to them horns. If it wasn't for doodoo, if it wasn't for shit that stink, roses wouldn't smell so good. Oh y'all, and don't forget to if y'all vibing with the video, hit the thumbs up and all that good stuff. Layla Smith, no, I'm not at Coyote Moon anymore. Like I had to again, even catching myself, making sure that if I'm going back to full time with everything that I do, make sure I'm full time with everything I do and not just, half-assing. Because again, like one thing about like right now, which I know I'm gonna be soon planning to head to LA soon. But again, like I didn't want to make that just sporadic jumping at the same time too. That's another thing though. Making sure, like, just getting to know myself to the fullest, like seeing why I'm back in Louisiana. What are the pros and cons? And again, hence why journaling and all these things, like sometimes we be a little bit too loose about what we want. And that's another reason why we might not see, manifestations as clear, because we're not being as clear with our intentions and our focus with, because again, like I'm having to sit down. And another thing too, which I always express too, and I don't think I ever talked about this in any of my videos, but like, and hence why you can't just be listening to everything and anything somebody say if you don't know, like, even if I got 1,500 videos on this YouTube channel, at least 100 of them with about 2 hours. But even with all that, you still, like, if you haven't really sat and talked with me or really, or seen what goes on in my life behind this camera, you know, you don't really, know what's up. Because you might see, like, oh, I wonder what's going on with him doing this, doing that, or moving here, moving there, or why I ain't got a crib yet, and this and that. Like, again, like, say for instance, I got my own. What started this little tug of war too is because I have my own home in Opelousas, you know, and part of, like, all right, should I? Because I know the importance of, like, all right, I want to make sure that this remains my property, but at the same time, I know I don't feel like staying in Opelousas. I love, and again though, curtailing it to me, like, not what somebody advice about nobody else pros and cons of being in Opelousas, nobody else pros and cons of being in Venice Beach in LA, you know what I'm saying? Like, just all sitting with myself and, like, just, and again, like, even sometimes we have to go to the elementary aspects of our growth of just sitting down and writing stuff out. Like, all right, the list, Louisiana, pro, con, and then also realizing I can manifest the aspect of going back and forth. It's like really having to sit there with it. Because again, I also see the importance of, having that community aspect, and in Louisiana and in this area, you know, uh, there's a lot of indigenous culture, and just vibes that you could feel strongly, in Louisiana, in general, let alone in areas like Opelousas where the ley lines haven't been tampered with on some Hollywood type of shit, you know. Like, again, it's like, but again, if I hop in the car with a taxi driver and I'm like, all right, bust this left right here, and at the same time bust this right over here, the taxi driver gonna be like, all right. Matter of fact, taxi driver gonna light up a blunt, hit it, be like, look, when you decide where you wanna go, you know, I'm gonna just chill. I'm gonna chill until you decide where you want to go, and then we're gonna, go in that direction. But that's the whole key to it. And again, realizing the balance of, like, being vulnerable when I do videos, and then it's just some things. But again, at this point, you know, it's more secure than it once was, and I think that's why I didn't talk about it. Because again, it's like, because that's another thing right now. Actions are going to speak louder than words. If even if we don't, like, see, even if we ignore the signs of that somebody that we trying to hold on to is probably like, low key jealous of us, or wishing ill will on us or something of this nature. you know Even if you're trying to ignore it, it's gonna show itself, to the fullest. So that's another thing. Actions are gonna speak louder than words for everything that we do. you know. And hence why for myself, I'm like, all right, I gotta make sure that I'm taking actions balance, making sure I'm meditating, staying in alignment, but again, not like overdoing it. Cause again, at the end of the day, it's really just about like, just being, like meditation in certain aspects is medicinal. And it's really just like, it's again like emotional intelligence, you know, in the now moment, being fully present in the now, going with, what you feel like doing in essence. And hence why, again, like soul purpose just lines up like with what you feel like doing, so much so to even if you didn't get paid, you know, it'll still align for you. But, and remember, this realm, we always being alchemists, alchemizing the lead into gold. So in essence, what I'm swinging it into is, as long as you're continuously doing your best to progress, and don't take yourself too serious or too harsh. Again, you want to be accountable, because again, there's a strong shift, and I was talking about that earlier also too, in an aspect of like, you know being is as healthy as you would like to be, you know coming coming soon. And being, again, like, is about soul growth, at the end of the day, you know and let our actions be guided by what you feel as a soul you came down here to express. you know and again, and also, the main aspect of realizing, like, getting to know, again, like, where I come from, in the sense of, the primordial essence of source. you know, why am I here in this plane of existence in this lifetime? And what's next for me? you know Mm. See, in that old French Quarter, yeah, that's all it. Yeah. All right. So yeah, get rid of the fools. Yeah. Again, for myself too, like realizing, like, like I watch less and less, videos than I used to. Like, I'm finding myself like being in the moment more, and reading more, and doing my behind the scenes work, like making sure like I'm trademarking, like, you know uh trademarking certain names, and researching certain aspects of my LLC, because again, it's being in the moment to the fullest. you know like there's going to be a shift in energy coming, but it's not to look at it like, oh, it's a, like, again, and that's the thing, like if you fearing, then that's, like you don't want to be fearing, like there's nothing to fear, like be tapped into the high vibrations, like more than ever. And again, for some of us, it may be dealing with diet, and again, to each his own, because some beings may have did it to where they done got all their message out, and it doesn't matter about their diet or whatever. Because again, it's all subconscious. It really is. No matter what, what I'm saying, something else may say or do, again, and there's more than enough evidence in my videos and as far as bringing up literature that, express, how the subconscious work. But yeah, that's it. Yep, that's the trigger. Yep, that's basically it. Like I said, that's it, but I'm saying. Yeah. Again, now more than ever, pleasing ourselves, making sure that, again, like, because also the healing the trauma and all the subconscious work is to, peel off these subconscious layers that come from programming, you know, externally that's blocking us from being the greatest version of ourselves. Like, again, I also realized like the Save My Hood programming, or like, oh, if I become the greatest version of myself, like, I'll no longer be able to, you know, the people in my neighborhood won't like me anymore, or what I'm saying? Like, and again, that's the subconscious programming. And again, it could come from directly within your household, or from an aspect of, what you pick up from your neighborhood on your growth. But build it and they will come. Build it and they will come. Like building our kingdom again. Like, as far as with us, again, just aligning with ourselves, and tapping into, whatever it is that we're uniquely great at. And also, again, voting is with with our focus, with our energy, you know, like, and as you build a certain level of funds, then you could be able to, do this, do that, shit, move around out of this motherfucker if you want to, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But it allows for you to not be under that stronghold, and especially if you generate it to a point of allowing for that abundance to continuously flow, you know, and again, in a form where it can continuously, flow, like, again, like like some type of goods or service that's gonna serve a high, the highest good of us in this plane of existence moving forward, in our in our continuous now moment, so being a rod to that, that we are, and raising our seeds in that, in that divine likeness, because again, we setting up the space where just all of a sudden you're gonna look up and there's gonna be certain people that's just, have things built up, and again the energy gonna speak for itself as the lies and the deception continuously, gets unfolded, in all these other areas, which is just for a reason. But again, like just do you and focus on building your own empire, and when I say building your own, like whatever you do, I ain't saying like everybody now, like, you have to just be the king or queen of your castle, your inner, you know what I'm saying? And as you be the king or queen of your castle, make sure that the inner king and queen is is in alignment and harmonized to the highest ability. You know? 'Cause again, I rather uh like promote the aspect, because again, some people like, oh, nature this, I want to do, is the abundance and prosperity, and it's a mental sickness to feel like we have to be lackful in order to be connected spiritually, and most of that come from, a lot of spiritual practices, some aspects of spiritual practices created to, you know not say some spiritual practices, but some of the literature, is to kind of create more of like a control system type of vibe, So like some aspects of the Bible somewhat to, promote slavery, you know, like it all has this little underneath vibe of like, again, like it has some truth to it, but then there's also some other stuff going on in it as well. But what was I about to hear with that? Gotta accept yourself. Accept yourself. Come on, y'all. What was I just running on? I felt like I was. You could ask a question. I already kind of spoke to the integration aspect, like, again, integrating our being, it's not like us against, my anger, like, it's like understanding all of our negative aspects instead of fighting against it, because understanding it is how it, you know, dissipates in that sense of it, like understanding it, putting that conscious eye on it, giving that compassion, because whenever we feel like we gotta fix, you know, a certain aspect as if something's wrong, where the underlining thing is that something is wrong, then that throws off, like that's basically saying like, oh, my anger is wrong, or my sadness is wrong, or my depression is wrong, or whatever, negative emotion or feeling you may be experiencing, you know. So also that'll help. As a matter of fact, if you type in universal frequencies and emotions, I should, and I should have some of those videos under the eternal health, uh, my eternal health playlist, and also be aware that I have playlists with, where you could kind of key in on different videos. And now that I got my laptop running again, I'm gonna get that, get the playlist more focused in. But again, tapping into the emotions and checking out the video again, universal frequencies and emotions, but the emotional health, and also my Patreon page also has more than one video that kind of goes in depth with that aspect. But again, it's about understanding, compassion, and acceptance of our emotions, and really trying to understand, like, what is this emotion or feeling trying to let me know, Because again, for the most part, what we really dealing with in our spiritual growth, again, is psychology, like the archetype, as above, so below, as within, so without, We are a fractal extension of the archetypical process of source, going from the no thing to everything, and like cycling no thing, everything, and constantly expanding a big tourist field, you know. And I forgot which playlist those videos under, because I had a great video that breaks that down. I think it was called, I don't know if it's called Cycles and Wheels. Let's see. If you type in universal frequencies and torus field, it should pop up. But the Washita, I'm not too familiar with the Washita tribe, except for the fact that I remember like that tribe being more part of like the northern Louisiana area, you know. But I feel like it even dipped down to like close to the St. Landry Parish area too. Even though that's because all these, territories and these lines of where things expanded to, that's just estimated, But I know in this area, Appaloosa stands for Black Leg, the Black Leg, uh, indigenous beings of Turtle Island, so to speak. And I say so to speak because even with saying that, the word Turtle Island, uh, it would have translated to something else, because 9 times out of 10, that name was given before English existed. But yeah, the Black Leg Indians and Appaloosas. And again, there's a bunch of mounds out this way. And hence why, like, so say for instance, there's a small ass town called Washington, like about 10, not even that long, shit, about 5 minutes north of Appaloosas, and not really even that technically. You can almost say like 3 minutes. But it's one of the first cities in Louisiana. Like Washington is the third oldest city. I think only Baton Rouge and New Orleans, maybe, and don't quote me on that. But Washington is the third oldest city. Now, when you go to Washington, and I'm about to drip some little indigenous sauce about the Louisiana area. When you go to Washington, uh, it's like nothing but hills. In Louisiana already, like this is like and Opelousas is kind of still like, it's like not too far from the Gulf, so it's not like, because even the highest area is a hill, Mount Driscoll. But anyway, you go to Washington and it's like you're going up and down in the neighborhood, like the streets. Almost feel like you're in San Francisco, jokingly. It's not that steep, but you know what I'm saying? Like in just each neighborhood, you turn left, you're going down, you turn right, you're probably going back up. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like there's nothing but hills and mountains. And also, if you're familiar with being in Baton Rouge and being in the quote unquote in the bottom, like the area in the South where Usyk and Kevin Gates and them from, like same thing. It's like, bam. Because I remember my first time going to Baton Rouge in that area, and I'm like, damn, this shit look just like Washington, and then further my little studies and then seeing like, how certain people who are very impactful come from certain areas where these mounds might be located at. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the evidence is right there if we would like to, acknowledge it and record it. Like, it's in the face, but, you see those little correlations of, all right, you got the little hills out here, you got the little hills out there. And then somebody, man, I gotta research this. Because I'm balancing things out. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna talk about it. Just gotta do it. But it was something about Cancer Alley and Al Dejan Charles. It was something about some native areas. Those are two different native areas. I forgot if both of them in Louisiana or not. I'm just expressing it because it might spark something. But that's another thing. I'm giving thanks to the ancestors. But yeah, and so with the Washita aspect, like, and it's just not coming. It's not sparking up because I felt like me and somebody had like a nice little conversation about this not too long ago. I want to say like last year about like the Washita. And again, they say Indians, and that's all some old confusing bullcorn. And again, like right now, more than ever, being truthful, being, like say for instance, with me not wearing my mask, like, and that's crazy that some people may still see it as like, oh, I'm just like trolling or probing. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't want the new norm to be, and again, like I feel like it all go off of my energy. Like, cause I walk in the store, like, and that's the thing too. And shout out to that, cause I be so aligned with knowing that it's all crazy that I be forgetting, like literally, I be forgetting that stuff is going on sometimes. Like, and hence why a lot of times I do make it my best to like just stay to myself. So cause again, I already know what's going on, in that sense of it. Only time I need to look up is when it's time to travel, or you know what I'm saying, I'm gotta do something. Like, all right, You know what I'm saying? Gotta put a little magic on whatever I'm doing. But and I appreciate y'all. Like, it's a mutual exchange, you know. Really do. I appreciate y'all. And again, I had to realize that's another reason why I had to stay back. I had to like ask myself why I was doing my YouTube videos, you know. Like even question, you know, like I went kind of into like that void place and just emptied it, you know, it's boom, empty. You know, like all right, am I doing, you know, like what, you know, feel and just feeling it out, what feels, you know. Does it feel like I'm doing something out of alignment? Not what somebody says is a real job or what's not a real job or what's this or what's that. Does this feel in alignment for you? You know, and again, that's how I work it for me and just see, you know, because I'm also seeing again to bring things into like focus where I'm not juggling so many hats. Because again, hence why I'm having to like make my jewelry like where it's gonna continue. It's just gonna be to an aspect of like, you know, it's gonna be open, a window open for so long. As far as like custom work, I'll say that much. Like I continue to, you know, when certain points come about, you know, because I enjoy, you know, making my jewelry. I enjoy working with crystals, you know. But again, like I know that I really, 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 really enjoy being more creative from the aspect of, you know, doing music and the aspect of just being creative in other different forms. Like, you know, again, like I got me a new DSLR camera. Appreciate all the donations, all the investments. As far as like when I say investment, also the aspect of anybody dealing with uh again getting functional art, because that's again like everything I do is functional. It's functional art. Again, just refining, you know, refine everything and grounding myself. Like I'm here in this plane of existence. You know, unless I'm gonna commit suicide, just live in the moment. I'm jokingly saying that, guys. Yeah, and again, like I'm being more proactive. Like you know, and this happens sometimes. Again, like we sometimes get to a place because right now also in this new moon mode, like you know, practicing new things and making sure again not only that we just saying the affirmations, but that we also doing the things that's aligning us with those affirmations. You know, and I'm doing this. Was funny because I'm thinking about today, where you know I actually got to learn a few moves from a master. I don't want to say it, but a martial artist, you know, who's a master at the craft, you know. And yeah, that's something that I might write my affirmations, but also I put myself in a position to actually be doing it. So not only I'm saying it during the new moon, but I'm actually doing, you know what I'm saying, like doing certain things and participating in certain activities, you know, like starting to do my videos, you know, for my music and starting to, you know, making sure I do my distro kid for those unfamiliar, making sure that your stuff go to all the different platforms and you get your residuals, you know, like lining all these different things up. But again, from the aspect of being of service to ourselves and others at the end of the day too. Because that's what supports what we do. It's like as we raise our vibration, we continue to usher in, again, from our imagination, creating a destination, you know what I'm saying? Like creating the environment. Imagine everybody, with all these aspirations again. And call them aspirations, excuse me. But like those of us inspired to, shed, some type of light while we on our growth, it helps to do that with that abundance, with that inner wealth and infinite wellspring of abundance and wealth that exists within us, you know what I'm saying? And yes, it's a balance, because that's a part of this being in this realm too, is that yes, you're a part of an infinite abundance, and yes, there's a certain limit to certain connections in this realm, and I use that word very lightly, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a fan of like what's that? Push it to the limit. Push it to the limit. Also, our lower self, the negative aspects of our lower self, hence why again, like embracing and not looking down on these aspects, certain little triggers and stuff like that, trying to because I think about myself and certain experiences and how I had to stay on my square. But also remember, like, again, like, it's about living out what it is for you. Like, what's your dream? Like, what brings you that alignment and understanding? And that doesn't mean everything is always, like, again, negativity exists for a reason and it's going to pop up, but have fun with it and treat it as a learning experience that it is, instead of frown upon it and treating it as something bad, Because again, it'll continue to loop. Right, quick, and matter of fact, and right now I'm dealing with the Leo energy. This is a pyrite. This is what I got right now. This is pyrite with a prayer night with epidote inclusion and rose quartz. But that little combination again, I got the pyrite with the prayer night, because prayer night really promotes that connection with tapping in with your emotions and your feelings, but I know I also have, and it doesn't throw the feminine aspect off in the case of what I'm about to say, but like, also for, the brethrens in the masculine bodysuits who embody that masculine energy on that side of the balance. The pyrite helps to promote that balance so that, although you be tapped into the emotions, you still be grounded, still be able to have that balance, and still be able to implement that focus and what, you're tapping into. And prayer night also again good for the heart chakra, intuition, healing inner child trauma. So you may get insights about certain inner child aspects that need to be healed. One of mine also is like attention and stuff like that. I be, before I post like any, and I do my best to not be super self-conscious of it, but, like aware that I write like, oh, taking a lot of like pictures of myself, like, am I suffering from that? Ooh, I'm looking for attention, inner child trauma, that hey mommy look at me type of energy, you know what I'm saying? So you get certain perspectives on that coming up as well. But again, like prayer night is promoted for people who may do divination work, because it helps for you to just, catch that feeling, catch that vibe and go with it, you know, without overthinking it and trying to add the logic to it, you know. But and then also the rose quartz with the self-love, and also prayer night gonna promote strong imagination, promotes lucid dreaming, and the aspect of creativity with that imagination. And with rose quartz, that like it's slept on for how much it promotes like creativity and imagination, and also like being tapped into your emotions, and having that emotional intelligence and knowing what your feelings is, directing you towards. But also like just that soothing, uh stress relieving aspect, especially in what may feel like, rough and chaotic, moments. Rose quartz is great on that vibe. And then I got my garnet, but this was a gift somebody gave to me. It's all garnet, and this got garnet or garnet, however you want to say it. Petersite and pyrite. The Petersite just that great from root to the crown connection. Also real good for the chi energy flowing through the nadis more with, like, it's almost like a tiger's eye type of energy, you know what I'm saying? Like allowing for the chi energy to flow a little better, but I always feel like fully balanced. And I feel like again, like I always joke about prayer night, like remember to take out the trash and meditate at the same, you know what I'm saying? And go meditate as well. And then again, I got the turquoise bracelet with malachite and lapis, only to match the necklace, because honestly, like I never rock turquoise as a it's my I think that might be my first time rocking it as a bracelet. I only really rock it as a necklace because it works great in this area. And like again, you see throughout all of my videos, I always have like either some type of tealish, so it's gonna be some chrysocolla or turquoise, or again like tapping into that Venus energy as well, And then also I did this like hematite, the necklace, to promote a lot more ground and energy. But so, all right, just to sing out there in England. Shout out to domestic and international fam. Yeah, fam. And like even again having to remember, like I see you brought up something about procrastinating. Like, and when we go to do things, make sure that like even the process of like sitting back and drawing out and mapping out how we're gonna have an approach is taking a step out of procrastination. Even though it may seem like we're not super hands-on actually doing something, in that sense of it, know, like in all parts of that process, helps to, again, take steps away, steps out of that procrastination vibe. And again, that procrastination is the wisdom to not try to push through resistance. Also, you might be resistance towards something, and again, like our inner source is trying to, our intuition is trying to let us know, like, wait, hold on, don't push through this for a reason. Or it could be again, or like certain type of fear aspect, but we gotta sit back and see what that is. The light bringer. Hey, oh, you see, that's what I get. What just happened was like there's the roach crawling by, and again, I know how my energy is right now. They think I'm a tree or something, and and again, like I'm cool, but sometimes I don't feel like being treated like a tree and being crawled on. So, but ain't no reason to um and also that's another thing, like you're gonna see more of a transformation in how I present my videos, start having more Patreon videos, like just, you know, but again, it's gonna be more so like bringing things to a more focused environment, like if I'm gonna plan to really, because I do want things to reach out far, but it's like, you have, like I feel like, like a small classes and things of this nature, whether it be on Zoom or whatever, but just letting it, you know, letting it flow. Right. Word. And that's all right. Word. We gon' we gonna run it soon about about that subject matter. Going through different little gates, different little portals. Going through the immortal portal. Because really, again, like I want to just start again being more podcast type of vibe and just having more of an open vibe. Because I did have that realization. Unless I am kind of like and just doing it podcast style, allow for that to come out like little downloads and stuff like that instead of like having it from a teacher perspective. You know, because even if I'm saying, oh, I'm not, teaching from that aspect, and I'm still doing it from the actions speak louder than words. Yeah, going to jam rock. That's the business. A little bit of shungite water. Hey. Right. And that's why I caught myself, and again, like, that's why I always did my best to express, like, hey, this is me on my growth from early in the game, because I already knew how I was, I'm like, I know in order to consider yourself some type of like, teacher in that sense of you have to put in a certain level of work and, and study and present things in a certain manner, and I know that certain things that I wasn't, doing at least to the fullest in every video, again, like it was certain moments where I pull out my little, my little notebook, and show my little illustrations in connection with, whatever I was running it on. But, for the most part, I always was like, hey, I want my goal just like you. It might seem like, because that's another thing too. And and having to be aware of that aspect of me, like, because I have the ability to learn quickly, that aspect could also allow for me to get big headed about myself. And I have to be aware about that about myself. Again, like that's where inner gnosis is more important, like knowing about myself and knowing that about myself. That was kind of redundant, but you know what I mean? That's what allows for me to, be aware and remove these, or should I say transmute these blockages, so to speak. Because that's also where certain aspects of my videos, like I might have brought up something somewhat new, but it was kind of like monotonish, in the sense of like, the information was somewhere around, so like when I first started, I was like, man. And there's also just different levels of growth too, It's constantly, death of one thing is the rebirth of something else. Yeti. also, do my little part. Making sure y'all hit the little, if you haven't subscribed, press the subscribe button. If you like the videos, making sure you give a thumbs up. That helps with the algorithms. Also, any and all donations is greatly appreciated. Donation links underneath mostly all of my videos. Hit the notification bell if you would like to be notified every time I post new videos. And every time I do live videos, it'll, give you a notification. And again, check out the the song Vibrate, and check out my brethren album on all streaming platforms, Spotify, iTunes. But The Truth is the name of the album. Jazz Bandito, JAZZBANDITO. And, check out that vibe. And also, again, track number 4. Like, bruh, man. You know what I'm saying? I was just a breastfed child running wild. Shout out to bro, man. Let's see, look. Try to give me a sound. See, I'm joking on bro, man. But because again, also realizing the true aspect of spirituality, comes from the, again, further back, like the more occult and indigenous, like basically occult information is the ancient indigenous information. Because again, like most of that new age stuff is surface level. The best thing to me that just really helps to just tap in without really too much tampering, in essence, is Eckhart Tolle, aspect of being in the moment, being in the now, and how to be aware of the ego in that sense. But for the most part, like, again, like reading the books, like the Gerald Massey books, like only one, and I still gotta finish it, uh by Valentino Strait, and Celestial Ship of the North, where that kind of just breaks down the little behind the scenes aspects of the symbology of deities and gods and mythology, and why certain things exist in certain literatures, and and how to shift at the 18th dynasty of again, like what things was appreciation of the primordial mother, but in the essence of appreciation of again, like the note thing, in the essence of no one worship thing, what I'm saying? Like compared to like in the 18th dynasty, it switched to just worshiping just the, again, like imagine just worshiping just the Leo energy, just the Ra energy, Ras, the head, Rastafari, Ras, also the Leo symbol is shaped like a little sperm. As a matter of fact, y'all know what's up. And I'm put the little drawing out before, I'm pretty sure. That's also connected to Yadala Bart from from the Gnostic scriptures. And again, no good, bad, right or wrong. This is just the shift for energy again, because that's another thing too. Like these storylines and all this is just like a play out of, in essence, or subconscious mind, like in different things shifting in different moments, and playing it on a multi-dimensional aspect, because just because I'm source, not gonna mean I'm just sit here and somebody come and archivist to see about to try to poke me with a knife, and I'll be like, I'm source, poke me with the knife, like now you could choose that option, that's you, but again, you know what I'm saying, like like it's not about, again, it's the balance, the wholeness. Right, like bringer. Right. Right. But oh yeah, and I was bringing up books, because matter of fact, the book by Valentino Straighten, it like a lot of his quotes come from out of Jeremiah books, and I think he might have a few. Is it Doreen Virtue? Not Doreen Virtue. Oh my goodness. Dion Fortune. I said, oh shit. Dion Fortune. And then also Rudolph Steiner, Manly P. Hall. I ain't gonna lie, after Lime Milo Duquette, he got a book on Kabbalah that's pretty good. Chicken Noodle Kabbalah. And also, who it is, Kenneth Grant. He got some saucy, deep occult information. And again, like it's their interpretations in connection with certain ancient info. Because matter of fact, why Kenneth Grant wasn't necessarily embraced. He's not heavily broadcasted like most people. Ain't like, oh, Kenneth Grant. Just like Jeremiah, you don't see people Jeremiah, Kenneth Grant. And that's how the people, like, again, like what's popping. Like, again, Carl Jung got a like, I think seven deadly sermons, if I'm not mistaken, is the name of it. But that one almost basically like a Gnostic scripture. It's almost like it kind of is written like H.P. Lovecraft type of vibe, like where it's written as something to be seen as, it's just possibly his dreams, or but in the essence, again, like with the Carl Jung and the seven deadly sermons, it's basically like Gnostic scripture aspect in connection with Yadala brought and the Mother Sophia. Oh yeah, y'all laughing at it. Right. And matter of fact, I also would like to ask, everybody, like what type of what type of videos y'all vibe with that y'all, like the most. Like I know I'ma still have stuff about crystals, but again, making it to the point where again it's more about my experience with them and not necessarily, hey, this is what this book says about. I mean, sometimes it come down to that, in essence, but for the most part, I want to always be able to share my experience. You know? Yeah, matter of fact, that's another thing. Like I've been seeing the exposure of like, and excuse me, y'all, because I'm like, the little chat, like right here. Okay. Anyway, like with the little Jesus thing, and a lot of people like, oh Jesus, and again, so my subconscious programming playlist or my politics playlist, any of like my latest videos on that, and especially again anything dealing with New Age movement, you know, like that's it. Yeah, she went whole Bible on everybody, you know. And again, as I joke about it, of course, you could pull magic. That's another thing too. Like that's how you build, to each his own. But you're again, it's like because that's no different. It reflects outwardly. If you integrate the wholeness of your being inside, then you gonna not discriminate against like stuff that work, regardless of what name is attached to it. Because like certain people do, certain uh magic. I'm saying magic. I don't even want to use it in that context, but there's certain rituals and things for the spiritual practices. You know, ooh, damn, I got zapped like that. Uh, Using songs. That's what I was gonna say. Certain people are doing their spiritual practices using songs, but at the end of the day, again, like I tell anybody, for me, I would just always like to go deeper because I know that, the, with again like a Rudolph Steiner books and you're talking about Atlantis and Lemuria, or even the Bhagavad Gita that's older than the Bible, and then also the Quran, and then which outdates all of that is the fact that you got water erosion on the Sphinx that's over like 11 to 12,000 years old. So again, this thing's been happening. That's also the little left field thing with ancient aliens. But again, I be catching myself. And you see, we flowing. We flawed. Because again, at the end of the day, just being a walking ball of love, you know what I'm saying? Self love. And if I love myself, that means I'm going to handle myself accordingly, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's all. I might no, I only did it. I did some of that video on YouTube and the rest of it on Patreon. But the light bringer, when you bring up, I use my mind. You can bypass some of the BS by training the mind. Like I was kind of speaking on basically, how and why archetypes and certain again religious or certain spiritual practices exist. Is it's just to instill. It's just certain practices that certain ways of certain people did to connect or instill these energies, within their day to day. But it was all just a part of my doing it for the mind, though. At the end of the day, yeah, psychology, God's mind, getting our mind right. So, 'cause again, our thoughts and our mind create our reality. You know, and I say it from here, but you know, it creates our reality. And if I got all kind of trauma bringing me, got to sit down with self. Right? Again, that's what always made me comfortable with doing videos when I go through things is realizing I never presented myself as somebody who said, hey, you know, I'm somebody who you're never gonna see like this, or whatever, I'm like, hey, I just never knew the proper name of calling things a vlog or whatever. And again, I knew that what I was presenting is in essence educational, but Antoine Graham, peace, peace. Uh, Inscribable G. Like the energy is already inside you, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. Like it ain't about no external guru or nothing. Ain't nothing. Only person that could heal us is us. Because even in a Reiki healing, you have to be, you have to be open minded enough to even have that experience. So it still all goes back to you. You have to be open minded to trust that, that energy, is passing through and being hit, and healing the energy field. Again, like we playing basketball, playing any sport, it's a team of people who could get it in, you know what I'm saying? Not like, oh, we just depending and putting on one player back. It's like we all could get it in. Shout out to seeing some of the little Michael Jordan the thing with Phil Jackson. He had him like meditating and tapping into the Zen and like like made Michael Jordan learn like, hey, you are one of the best players in the league, but at the same time, you got teammates, like, and in a sense, and what I'm getting to in the aspect of like you want your quote unquote teammates in the analogy of it to be just as great as you know, like and beyond, like again, like there's no like it because again and that's how the children, gonna be coming out. That's how the souls coming in, quote unquote children, they gonna be coming out with that, that vibe. Especially as a lot of us, again, deal with more natural aspects of being, or just, again, like doula services and things of this nature, But again, uh, to each his own on how you vibe. All right. All right, program. Yeah, again, a new moon setting new intention. Not only affirmations, but actually hands on the. Matter of fact, I gotta go. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be filming another part of the video for meditate on that tomorrow. So be working on that tomorrow. And also got some jewelry orders to finish off and ship out. So I definitely want to, connect with y'all. Andrew Montoya, all right. Let's see. Oh yeah, bro, my some jewelry, like the got jury duty. Yep. I can't even say it. Nah, let me quit joking. Jewelry. That's too much work. It's like too much work. And I know that's paradoxically like, well, how somebody that talk for about 3 hours don't want to sit there and be like, jewelry. I don't know, jewelry. Tomato. Tomato. Joke that. And Josing on me for my accent. Hey. Yeah, all the little current events. I ain't never watched the little WAP video yet, but yes, all the stuff. Matter of fact, and shout out to uh, what's the move channel? So it is written. SOISWRITTEN. And shout out to Conjure Queen. And also Conjure, y'all know CONJUREQUEEN. And shout out to Masterly Foolish channel as well. Like that brethren pushing a lot of light out there. And Masterly Foolish, MASTERLYFOOLISH. Yep. Swayze Life. I'm no longer at the movement. What's up, my brother? Yep. Oh yeah, serious times, definitely. Matter of fact, it was cool that the video I did about how Bobby Hemmett is like, like his energy is, like legendary, in expressing, the knowledge of self, because again, like being a melanated being growing up in America is not, a lot of this information is not just, oh, here you go. Like again, the aspect is mental slavery. In order to keep a mental slave, you got to keep them away from the books that's going to free their minds. Like that doesn't make sense. Like why would I give them books that's going to free their subconscious mind and prevent them from being my slave? Let's see, like I went on another little rant. All right, just the same. Yeah, because I have that balance, and I always speak of that. Like, one of the archetypical energies, you know, uh, that I connect with strongly is that Legba energy, in that sense of like that mercurial, you know, messenger of the gods, keeper of the doorway, walking between the realms, like, and hence why, and I catch myself because it is a balance. Like I realize, like if I'm not being confident in myself, I gotta watch how I'm like promoting other people's stuff in the sense of like, not promoting other people's stuff over my stuff in the sense of, because I'm lacking confidence in what I'm doing, you know, like it should never be out of that. But for me, I'm just like always knowing, like again, like I express information on certain aspects, but I know other people who tap in and express things too, you know, and also where I done watch some of their videos, because again, like, watching YouTube could really be like a form of almost like entertainment as far as watching some of these videos, like, not us again, like taking too strong to, again, like, like everything I'm saying, don't, like, all right, I got you. Everything that universal saying is, you know, and I'm expressing that to y'all because I done did that. That's why I share, again, like, because I done it. I done caught myself, like, almost like listening to somebody's words as if it should be like chiseled in stone for me. And it's like, wait, no, no, no. And again, and having to do my inner work and realizing in connection with that Capricorn energy and, putting too much, like, or Saturn energy and putting too much, you know, uh, like a strong, I say strong respect, but like having like extreme reverence for the father role models, father, like that type of figure, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of like just anybody in that little, and again, if you don't know that subconscious, that's sneaky little shit. Like if you don't really get to know about these little things about yourself, and like again, like, because that's what, uh, like a lot of these movies, like I think about like Pan's Labyrinth, I think was the name of it, but the labyrinth expression in general is like us, going through the puzzle of our, psyche, you know what I'm saying? Or like the princess card, like that's in the tarot in essence too, but the princess card, making it back to the kingdom, you know, like the princess wandered off and went into the physical, forgot that she was a princess, you know, got saved by shit, or the prince, he had to slay his demons, you know, and I say demons, or he had to slay his, tame his, you know what I'm saying, like his lower vibrational nature, aka the dragon. Right. That's 100. Damn 100. All right. I gotta prepare to ship out some items. Also, deliver some jewelry tomorrow. Again, like that's another thing. Even on that aspect, the inner focus, like focus on the solutions for us. You know, at the end of the day, what's the worst that could happen if you're mostly focusing on your self care and what's going on for you? At least you're transitioning, doing that. Instead of panicking and yeah. And again, I know y'all ain't tripping out like that, but maybe. And look, let me not discriminate. Maybe somebody who watching you or whatever might be coming in. But it's like I have to keep, and again, and when it's the moment to be aware about things, don't mean stick my head in the sand. When it's the moment to be aware, I'm gonna be aware, and things come to me anyway. I don't really have to go looking for a lot of information as much as it shows itself to me. And when I know I'm dealing with certain situations, where I need to, like, all right, again, like where it requires movement and I need to know the flavor of something somewhere else, then all right, but and the antagonist is gonna continue to be an antagonist. So that's nothing new. So it don't, and the inner antagonist reflects out. This is so stupid. Oh, you see, they treat me like a tree. Like he about to be in the background. Like, yeah, see, it's coming out of nowhere. I be doing my best. They be coming at me like I'm a tree. I'm grateful though. I'm grateful that my vibration is something that, you know what I'm saying? that doesn't, you know, that will allow for nature to cooperate with me. you know, it's just we just still working out of a few little, what I'm saying, signals, and you want to stop and go and all that good stuff. Yeah, the light bring that's for practical purposes. Because again, speaking from practical purposes, what we may call an antagonist. And you're again exactly right. It's as much like we say, like letting people live rent free in our mind, and that creates us continuously having to deal with, that person, place, or thing. That's the name of the game. Like, some people, but again, like I was once like that, you know. Like again, investing, shifting how we invest our energy. Like I'm making sure I invest my energy, to not try to force knowledge upon people who don't want it, and don't really, or only act like they want it for attention and then really not practicing, putting them intentions for it. And you gotta write it out, get down to it. But again, studying self, gotta journal. Oh, I just been having to get stronger with the memory aspect of it. But shout out to Brother Panic, bringing up using the vitamin D3 in order to amplify your lucid dreaming and astral, projection, but more so the vividness and the ability to do it in the aspect with more vividness. Come on, bro or sis. What, dude? roaches. Are y'all what y'all masculine and feminine? Y'all gotta come on with the foolishness. We gotta share this space right now, guys. But you see, I just thought about that too. It just hit me. That's also that underdog type of vibe. But then again, it's just like a lot of stuff. I'm just, all right. I'm outside. The cockroach is gonna come outside, and again, like as if this was back in the day, like they wouldn't even be, they would be scared to come on this book. It'd be a different story. Yep. All right. Jesse saying. As a matter of fact, and I've been. That's another thing I've been doing new experience again, like trying new things. You know what I'm saying? Like that's also something. Trying new things within the parameters of whatever it is that you vibe with. Oh, I see. See. Shout out to being able to see, catching. But anyway, listening to like the I guess London or England rap. When I think about this Brethren you had little song, it's like because I like the way a lot of people say bruv, like it's like you guys are my youngest bruv, my bloody youngest bruv. You was my youngest. It was a fire little song. Like, but yeah, trying out new things, being grateful in the moment for the things that already exist and the things that expanding in already. See the victories and the W's that you're already making. Like again, there's so many things you are, and that's how you continuously get more of that by, again, like maintaining that focus. Now, again, not trying to create positive focus if it's something that you got to deal with, again, like in order to heal a broke leg or in order to clean some dirty dishes, you got to look at the broke leg or look at the dirty dishes in order to heal or clean whatever it is, before you can move, forward. And after you clean those dishes and heal that broke leg, then, you could maneuver. Yeah. Before we go, since it's a new moon, before we all leave out, 3 things that we're grateful for. I'm grateful for the fact that I've been continuously growing despite having some strong, traumas come through and kind of ruffle my feathers, you know. I'm grateful, and I'm grateful to always maintain the awareness, of valuing again those dark or heavy experiences or negative experiences, and being able to see the learning aspect in it, to see how to gain growth from it. I'm also grateful to be able to be authentic, and be real honest about who I am and how I express myself, and I'm always doing my best. So even if I'm not, like, again, because that, as I'm saying, I'm grateful for that. As I'm saying, that doesn't mean like, oh, that means I'm the best at being the most authentic, or Like I'm grateful for being in a position to always do my best, and my best is continuously growing. I'm grateful for that. Yeah. I'm grateful that I'm just able to, again, be also grateful to get back in a place where I'm no longer listening to like the outside noise. I'm grateful for realizing how I need to be aware to switch up my smoking habits and the way I deal with cigars. Yes, I'm grateful to accept myself, love myself unconditionally, have fun with my growth. Realize like, hey, just have fun with it. And that doesn't mean deny a negative emotion. Like, if something come up genuinely, we gotta express it, energy, emotion. But allow it to come up, and for the most part, it doesn't last for no long time unless we hold on to it. And keep it moving. See, I thought you called on my own. Yes, no longer no bad days. I'm grateful for no longer having moments to be bored. Like, cause lately, again, I almost and as me diffusing a little lazy, procrastinating energy that's mixed in there. But for the most part, like, it's like, oh, I got this order, gotta get this done, gotta research, and again, doing it from an inspired place, not out of, oh, I feel I gotta try, in order to. It's like, no, all right, I'm gonna be doing this. I would like for my stuff to be, again, I'm in this little realm. I want to make sure whatever it gotta be, because again, it's like I'm source experiencing itself, regardless in the bodhisattva energy, or being like what Alan Watts may call a living Buddha, you know. But it's like, being in this world but not of it, you know, like not having to be stiff and not associating spirituality with stiffness, you know. And as I say that, to each his own, with however you vibe. Hey, all right, Ronnie Rising, indescribable, light brain, yeah. All right, Sergio, watching the waves. Right. Yep, like from doing again. That's why I got myself a camera. I'm like, I gotta consider this shit. I'm like, bro, I'm like, for one, because even like with being on social media and like, and to just express like little, like, because again, I'm also about to see it, and present how I'm like a, a philosopher or into expressing about dealing with psychedelics, but it's like, like diving into certain concepts that already exist, you know what I'm saying? Because that does allow for some type of, expansion, in some way, form, or fashion. But yeah, I had to get a camera and was, because again, that's what I was gonna joke. Because I was like, shit, I remember when Instagram, like I was on Twitter, and then I'm following Bun B on Twitter, and he posts something about, it was like the little gumball driving little race thing. But long story short, it was the link was to an app called Instagram. Like, what's this Instagram thing? And I saw what it was. I'm like, oh, you could just post pictures, like, so it's like not Facebook or Twitter with the super extra. It's just pictures. For it was videos and all that. I'm like, word. So it's like, and again, it's a little balance. I realize, some selfish may come from, certain levels of trauma, and which honestly, I'll be real with you though, dealing with this realm, like again, is loving ourselves to the fullest, because that's the aspect of embracing the imperfection of being on a human experience. It's like no matter what, it is what it is. But what I was about to say. What was talking about? I'm trying to see because I was reading something. My fact, that's funny, like doing like a butterfly effect. Like I'm going back to read the chat and, and seeing if the comment goes snapping back to what I was just talking about. Right. It'll come back. The camera story. And again, seeing that, bro, always being photogenic, and I brought it into the mom and trauma aspect. That's why I saw I got filled up. But anyway, I always like to take photos as well as be in them, And again, and without even trying, like the thing of with being like a model, and when I got to LA, all these photo shoots and stuff like this. And again, like I realized when I was like, oh, this not being source. I gotta be meditating in the lotus position at all times in order to be connected, because again, that'd be a subconscious program from, a religious outlook. And it's like, no, as long as you, again, like being just you being a beacon of expression and, again, like being on your soul purpose, whatever that may be to the fullest, is what it is, whatever that may be, because again, as long as you have that alignment to know that, hey, I'm source on a human experience, as long as you got that plugged into your subconscious, and again, you're doing your inner work to be more connected with, realizing again, like, you have a soul and, you, it's a spiritual aspect to being here. You ain't just, uh, again, just a human on, uh, worshiping a sky daddy, it's like you're primordial source energy, Yeah. I mean, I'm balanced, There's certain moments when I'm not taking pictures and doing certain things, of that nature, but I'll be lying to myself if I didn't say that, And also, like, I like to, I bow ride show with the flow. By bow ride show with the drunken flow. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I also, yeah, bow ride show with the drunken flow. Randy Rising. Yes, and go to my psychedelics playlist and you could just press play all. And you'll get many different insightful perspectives from my experiences, me expressing my experiences. Again, like, because that's another thing. Like, you can't. I ain't gonna say you. I mean, in the true essence of it, like, say for instance, you don't really learn about psychedelics from, like, you could watch all my videos on my psychedelic playlist, but until you actually indulge in the medicinals, those medicines, you have nothing to really, what I'm saying, speak on or express in that area, like that. Again, even if feel like, oh, I'm a crystal already and I don't want to deal with none of these things, it's still like, but gotta experience. Hence why most of my videos do gear towards crystals and psychedelics. Because even videos that's not under my psychedelic playlist, a lot of insights still might be coming from some of my experiences. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like all of it. I need some more water. Go research. Go Google it and dive into the wormhole. You gotta research it. Dimethyltryptamine or something like that, I think is the true name for it, but just research it. Research it through multiple sources. Yes, you can naturally produce it in the darkness over a period of time. Yeah, and then also pranayama breathing, you know, in through the nose, out through the nose. Make sure the tongue touching like the roof of the mouth, like the top palate, but it ain't gotta be like that. Your mouth could be just as long as the tongue, Yeah. Bring it so it's like bring your stomach out, not your chest, but your stomach. So your stomach gonna be poking out on the inhale. As deep and as full as possible. Take your time because it's a such thing as breathing too deep for what you're ready for, especially with diaphragm breathing if you've never done it before. You know. But again, in this stuff that help breathing aspects, no matter how much, no matter what nobody talking about, somebody they all tapped into some form of breathing technique in some way, form, or fashion. Trust it. Just some of us, again, different strokes for different folks. Shout out to Brother Rich, expressing that about his channel, because again, it's about what we make it. I don't have to jump through hoops if I just be authentic and express like, hey, I'm gonna be doing videos that's gonna talk about this, that, and the other, and that's what it's gonna be, you know. Because again, like Brother Rich explained, like a lot of people tripping on, like, well, how could you have, Billy Carson and A.A. Rashid and then this person and that, like as if, they clash or the information clash. And again, it's not so much as information clashing, as much as just different perspectives, you know what I'm saying? Like, is allowing for those unique expressions. Because again, integration, you know, like, all right, you have the floor, you have the floor, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the integration of the being. But again, it's like we we make it what it is. Like, of course, I hold myself accountable for the work I do, So I want to, like, all right, if I'm about to switch it up to like making videos with just cartoons, like, hey, y'all, you know, better, probably save some of those playlists to a hard drive or well, whatever, because now it's just about to mostly be cartoons on this channel. So it's going to be, if that's what I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, because that's another thing, that's ego right there, in the sense of, oh no, let me hold on to, like, let me try to make it seem like I never fail. Like, again, not being scared of mistakes, not being scared to fail, not being scared to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck it. All right, the YouTube thing, it seems like it's kind of getting drawn out, or I don't want to do it from this perspective anymore. Or what, you know, switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Like, or no, let me, because if I stop it, then people gonna think that, you know, because again, that's that ego of wanting to look a certain way to people that's feeling bothered, like, oh no, because then we're gonna not look like we're smart, and look like we're fucked up, and you can't fucked up, and again, that's a facade to think that you're never gonna mess up or switch things up, or or new information gonna come again. Now's the vibrate, you know no telling what little bubble might come into the now, when it'll come into the now, because that even makes a difference, you know. But, yeah, yeah, that's the spill. Just do you. People gonna say what they gonna say, do what they gonna do. If something feel like, again, a hit dog gonna holler. If something feel like it get to you, know what I mean? That's an area to, that must bother you, or you identify with it strongly. You know what I'm saying? What's up with that area? Again, don't forget, if you're vibing with the info in the video, hit the thumbs up, uh, notification bell, so you can get notified to new videos. And whenever I post live videos, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Also, share any videos. Again, and I got playlists. So again, even though I got like buku videos, like I do have buku playlists too, but that helps to sharpen in on certain info. So you do have that aspect, and again, feel free, and you can share whole playlists as well. Uh, Also, now that I got my BMI, matter of fact, shout out to Mr. Levi Says, LeviSays, and check out his YouTube channel. The work he's doing phenomenal work. He's been making a lot of sound healing videos, but he sampled one of my videos and put it in one of his musical creations, you know. And he also had the courtesy to make sure, he got my BMI info, got everything lined up. So shout out to the brethren on that. Because again, I'm sourcing a human experience. We're making sure our energy exchange is fully mutual and compensated to the fullest. Like, oh no, that's the Matrix. Like, you is the Matrix. You the Matrix too, shit. You know. It's just not the end all be all to the aspect of what you are, but you know, like, of course, this little body suit being Kari or universal ain't the end all be all. You know, like, now is the vibrate. Where am I right now? You know, Let's see. Fuck 'em. Everybody get the fuck out. Yeah. But that was on Players Club. So we having a little movie. Yeah, that train mean a lot of energy move, like some beneficial energy is being transported. It's flowing. Cause if it's having to blow its horn, that means it's moving, being like, get out the way. This is not no stagnant energy. It's a moving, you know what I'm saying? On a focused pathway, Again, you could do dream symbols outside of the aspect, again, like, because you got dream symbols that could be particularly for you, you know, in the sense of like trains may also be something that connects you with, your baby mama or your cousin or your great grandmother or, what I'm saying, or your child or whatever, you know. But then generally speaking, trains, have a bunch of symbols to it, in a general sense. But again, like that's also, subjective to the being experiencing that dream. 'Cause you might see a train and a train, you know, significant because you and your mama used to build toy train things, and every time you see a train, it really remind you of your mama or something, or like compared to the general expression of what a train mean in that sense of it. But everything has its symbols, everything. I was doing my best to not focus on it too heavy because I know sometimes, like when I hear sirens, I know it's like expression that it's like almost like an emergency, or urgency in certain areas. And sometimes it could be, speaking directly, to me or just to what I'm speaking on, what I'm saying in that moment. But, I definitely have that awareness that, again, it never turns off. Like, again, like the subconscious does not have an off, but, we're constantly experiencing everything we're, constantly thinking of, everything we're constantly saying. Again, hence why everything goes back to maintaining our mental and our psyche, to prevent these little trigger moments of snapping into like a MK Ultra moment of like, you know, negative trauma, you know, like, due to not doing the our inner work. And the inner work is again like sitting there and breaking down our being a psychologist with ourselves, for the most part, and that's only again, and it ain't like every moment of your life you're being a psychologist of yourself. Yeah, you're gonna still have fun, you know what I'm saying? Do whatever it is for you that you feel is fun and brings you, growth and you feel uh more benefit than harm coming from this, for you, whatever that is, you do that, but again, it is about uh again, like understanding ourselves to the fullest. Every most everything else for the birds, and I said it a couple of times. And I said I never get tired of saying that. Like again, like simply put, like if I could just say spirituality, again, like and just simply put, be fully present in the moment and do what you feel. You know, and when I say do what you feel, you know what you feel, not what you think you should do, will feel, because again it's a certain feeling, like simply those two aspects. Like again, like our inner God tapping, and, or simply put, be in the moment and tap into your inner guidance and gain clarity with your inner guidance, aka inner guidance system, in connection with your emotions and feelings, and the rest is. But again, just on some simply put, because it is a multi-dimensional, experience for the most part. Yeah, them roosters. It has been very beautiful running it with y'all beautiful souls. I really appreciate y'all. Again, like for real. Because again, it is expression of energy, and I'm grateful, because again, like I could be sitting here talking by myself, but y'all here listening to my crazy ass. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gotta be crazy by myself. I ain't gotta be crazy by myself. Hey. In which I am joking, but I do my best to not, like keep it real about that shit too. Like on some, man, I'm not crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like this other shit crazy. Like, you know, knowing that, you know, again, knowing that I exist, and I say knowing because the whole reason why some may participate in, being, you know, like with wearing masks and stuff, because they're not aware of the ancient information and, that whole aspect. But it's like keeping it real. I am not the crazy one. Peace happen now. I do need to get up and out of here, guys. Uh, anything coming up soon? That's basically it. And again, just be aware that energy shifts are coming. It is a shift in energies, vibrations gonna be raising continuously within this realm, but it ain't nothing to be afraid of. That lion, I wanna be iron, like a lion in Zion. Iron, lion, Zion. Hey. Matter of fact, where is it? Hey, the Iron Lion. Oh wait, I got the glare. The Lion of Judah. You see, all the things have symbolic meaning, like the picture the Universal just showed you with the Leo shaped like a sperm and like your dollar brought. You know, see it? Representing the sun, and the sun called Ra, and Resh, the Hebrew letter. The Hebrew letter. I almost went in a British accent. I know that letter. They ain't pronouncing that T. Letter. Letter. Bloody letter. The bloody. Hey, hey, hey. Yeah. And matter of fact, there's another thing I've been doing a lot lately too, is listening to Sun Ra. Ooh, and Sun Ra got like a fire little. Ooh, I gotta share this before I go this saucy. Bruh, now if I promise you, after you listen to this, if you don't feel like, and you can't tell that, like, especially like Sun Ra, if he ever chose to spoke, because he mostly just is just speaking through his instruments. Whenever they say stuff on that, bruh, some of the sauces. But hold on, I gotta find this one because it's a long. Man, where is it? Is it solar symbols? No, that ain't it, huh? Oh wait, I don't know. I can't be that one. Oh, give me 1 second, y'all. I know I'm gonna find it. I know I'm gonna find it. Or maybe I'm not gonna find it on this one. It might be on my downloads, but yeah, it's a fire Sun Ra track. Dang, I definitely. And see, y'all been supposed to leave. Oh man. Let me stop saying that though, cause that's also some like I'm catching all that shit. Like, oh, I've been supposed to leave. So like indirectly almost like giving the energy. So I'm really like, staying here for y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like that should be sneaking. I'm again gotta heal. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like why I keep doing and staying in that repetitive state of sickness, you know, and knowing better. And again, of course, we constantly on our growth. We do certain things. But definitely, like, come on, now. There you go. I roam the cosmos. Premiere release by Sun Ra. I do not own the copyrights or none of that to what I'm about to show y'all on the screen. But this is a close up on it as far as on the album art. Sun Ra. But like let's see. Well, Sun Ra transition in '93. But I roam the cosmos. And it's 51 minutes and 18 seconds. And especially let you trip and jam it. Oh yeah, definitely. But even without tripping, like again, because life is a trip in general. Like definitely. Like ooh, like all right, so real. Catch that little vibe. Let me know how y'all like it too. Like for those of y'all who do go check it out, how like and what I'm speaking to in it is just how much like just because they speaking like this, and I am this energy, and like right, and the way they do it, like oh, man, that's maybe I'm the only one that could feel those type of channels like on that level? Because I'm familiar with them too, so I kind of like it's like, ooh, I know they was channeling like a motherfucker. It's like, ooh, that shit give me a little body orgasm. Oh, pause. No pause. No pause, man. You don't have to pause. There ain't nothing wrong with a body orgasm. All right, y'all. Like my eyes almost get all dry and red. Not that red. Intellectual Clark Kent. Clark Kent. A Bo Ride Cho. No, I keep saying ride. Bo Ray Cho with the drunken flow. How to shove nigga rat the rap. Yiddy. And again, promotion again for those of y'all just coming in. Go check out my Brethren Jazz Bandito album, streaming on platforms. The Truth, name of TheTruth is the name of it. The Truth, Jazz Bandito, JAZZBANDITO. As a matter of fact, my brethren definitely kind of come with, some of those psychedelic vibes, a little blended vibe, a balance of being in this realm, you know what I'm saying? But not of it, knowing knowing how to have fun, but also knowing that it's more to this experience. And again, like the track number 4, Vibrate, definitely check it out. So. But peace. Again, like, subscribe, share, hit your notification buttons. Any and all donations greatly appreciated. Check out my Epic Lifestyles page. Oh, and also I just created a new page on Instagram. Now is the Vibrate, for posting any of like my modeling pictures or pictures that where I'm, taking pictures with my DSLR camera now. So I also got that. Now is the Vibrate. NOWISTHEVIBERATE. And all that good stuff. And I continuously keep y'all posted with everything. Again, I mostly be active on, because, that's another thing. Again, it is what it is. Like YouTube, until I get a new phone, like YouTube don't allow for like the little stories or whatever. It doesn't, like, they be all skipping, messed up whenever I do them from my phone. So it just works smoother to do, like, work things through IG. But I'm out, y'all. Peace, happy now. You already know. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now. Peace. I'm out it. Wait, I don't even know where the off button is. I can't get out.